Hello, this is David, and welcome to Equity Story. Yeah, like we've been saying, the ASX is actually looking pretty decent at the moment, up another 0.5%. Um, there's a long-term chart. That's actually the best. I think the best-looking chart with the ASX we've seen for a long time, over a year. So it's great, and you can see that this short-term chart is looking pretty good. And in the short term, as long as we can keep on getting this little rally, obviously we can keep on making some good, decent money with obviously a lot of the trending stocks. Um, we took profits on a few stocks today. We still love them, and again, we took with TMP, just coming up to a little bit of resistance up here. We like obviously we like the story, and I'm sure we're going to be buying TMP many times and getting in and out of the stock many times. But we made nearly 5% in 4 or 5 days. It's good money, and we're obviously happy with that trade. Um, Likewise, Bellamys actually, after we sold Bellamys, it ran up a little bit harder. This is Bellamys is I think one of the most shorted stocks, funny enough, on the ASX 200. So I think it had a little bit of a move, and I think some of the shorters got squeezed. But it is a good stock, but obviously when you get a stock that's quite heavily shorted, I think it's not a bad idea to obviously take profits as we go. But we do like Bellamy's. I like the story. Um, there's many analysts give it sort of higher valuations of where it is now, and I'm sure we'll be trading Bellamy's again, and hopefully again making good money. I think again we made over 10% in less than a month. That's about 120% annualized. That's an excellent deal for Equity Story. Just having a look at some of the other trends we've got at the moment. FRM, it's looking good. Obviously, nearly record highs, up about 204. It looks really good and broken up, and really do like the look of that trend. And TWE, actually quite interesting. It's sort of faltered a little bit today, came back, and she's bounced back really quickly. It was a good sign. Again, AIA, a little bit slower. Hopefully you'll have a good day tomorrow, and if we go to 625 or 630, we might take a nice little profit out of that. Magellan, which hasn't actually held that sort of 50-day moving average for us pretty well, but I think I'd like to, it's got a nice little buy signal, so it should now have that move up. That we've been looking for that to at least attack that $24 level, so hopefully it'll have that. FPH, again on a really strong little buy signal, so hopefully FPH will have a good run through, and I could really see it when it runs through $9. It could run up quite nicely to sort of $9.20, $9.30. And obviously MTR, which is coming back nicely from its lows. I'd just like to show you two websites, which if I've showed these before, and they're quite useful because they are free. So there's one called Finviz, and Finviz is quite interesting because it gives you the advance and decline of the Dow and the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, where I think obviously the advance and decline does give you a pretty solid idea where the momentum is, possibly more than just sort of looking at the Dow. And also you can see the futures here. So if you look at now, you can see some of the Dow futures are actually down, and the gold futures are up. So I think a very useful website. It's called finviz.com. So all the traders at home, please go ahead and have a look. And the other one, which is again the short man, again this is free, so these will be the shortest stocks. I think it's about three days ago, or 3 trading days ago, and again it's quite interesting. So I think it gives you a sort of pretty strong idea. And you can see here Bellamys, 8.58% of people are presently shorting Bellamys and JB Hi-Fi, and so it's, again I think it gives good guidance, and just to see obviously it's always quite interesting if there's huge proportion of people believing the stock is going to go down. Obviously, there's often sometimes a reason for that. Um, that's all I've got to talk about actually equity. So sorry, one more thing is Northern Star. Obviously, it's in our 3-year growth portfolio. We're a big believer in gold in the medium term. I do think in the short term, and it had a good move today, we have been trending Northern Star. I do think we need to break that. I think it was the 2015 high. It was 1300 and I can't remember 15 or 7. But we do need to break that sort of high. Otherwise, we potentially could have a little pullback in gold. So I think it's worth just in the short term in May we could have a pullback in gold. So it's one of the reasons we did take some profits the other day on Northern Star. I think if it can break through those levels from last year, there's a good chance obviously gold could run on and we could get to 1450, and then obviously I think we'd be back in trending a few more gold stocks. Anyway, I'd like to sort of thank you for listening to Equity Story. I look forward to bringing this report tomorrow night, and have a good night.